Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Mitchell, and today Justin and I will be discussing about a little topic that's been giving a little bit of controversy. It's a viral video that recently released by Kevin Samuels. We titled it "Harsh Advice," quote unquote, "Your average looking at best." We're gonna be breaking down what he said. Is he too harsh? Is he not? So we're just gonna be breaking that down. Of course, we do these Instagram lives every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. And if you guys find this video content of value, you guys could show your appreciation by donating any amount that you feel is equal to the value of this video. And if you guys have any questions, a little bump on the road, feel free to send us a direct message and we'll reply to you shortly. And without further ado, I am going to add Justin on the line. What is up, Carter? How you doing, man? You may have forgot about me. No way. Yo, cool. How you doing, man? Yo. Oh, let me put up the title for this too. Hold up. Yo. What's up?
What's good, man? Oh, man.
Good, what's good?
Same old.
Yeah.
You know, quarantine
What's up?
life.
My headset is my AirPods aren't connecting. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Okay, cool. Yo. What is up?
What's good? What's good?
Yo, so yep, I gave a little title. I named this Harsh Advice. Let me pin this comment right now. Let me pin it down. By Kevin Samuels. I didn't say this. Pin this comment.
This clip brought a lot of joy to my life.
Did it?
Yes.
What is
Yeah.
up, everybody? Hello, Trouble. Julie is here.
I know she ain't working today, or
I think she got a little bit of free time.
oh, cool.
I think she got a
cool.
little bit of free time. We got Yaku in here. We got Carter. Carter's back.
What's up, folks?
Welcome back. We didn't forget about you.
What's up, folks?
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
like
I did not forget about Carter. I don't know you like that, but I didn't forget about you. All right.
And like I said in the last video, I said I was gonna switch my kicks for books, kicks for knowledge. So here it is.
Yeah. Two very good books.
Very good books.
And
Never
How to
split
Live
it.
Friends and Influence People. By
Chris Voss.
Yeah.
Chris Voss.
Yeah,
Never
great
split
book.
the difference. Great book.
I actually never read it, but I listened to it on a service that I shall not name until they decide to get back to your boy. You know.
By Dale Carnegie.
This is this is the book I have right now. Actually, I just got it.
I'm just gonna leave
a few days ago. Yeah, bam.
Yeah.
Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell.
Outliers. Haven't heard of that.
I gotta crack that open.
Okay.
Eventually.
All right.
Yeah, but Harsh Advice. For those of y'all who don't know, quick little introduce are the books for the show. Quick little synopsis of this. A few days ago, there was a video that went viral, I should say, of a gentleman named Kevin Samuels. He has a popular YouTube show where he gives, life advice, a lot of relationship advice. But his brand of advice tends to cut to the bone. He doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Yeah.
And he, he basically tells it like it is. I hate that saying, but that's what he does. Anyway, in the video, a lady called in, asking for advice about her situation, saying that she lives in North Carolina. She wants a six-figured man, and which 6 figures is a lot of money, but especially somewhere like North Carolina, it's a whole lot of money. And he proceeded to tell her why she basically does not qualify for a six-figure man in North Carolina. Obviously, this video sparked a lot of controversy. There were a lot of people who were mad at him, who were saying that how dare he tear down a black woman at that. There was a lot of folks who were happy with the
Mm-hmm.
video saying finally someone telling,
Like it is.
these women the truth how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot of divide, a lot of divide. So,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it brought a lot of joy to me. I kind of like to watch the world burn in some degree,
To some degree.
to some
Yeah.
degree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, not only was it funny
Mm-hmm.
overall, because I was like, Jesus, I would never be that harsh, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it started a lot of interesting conversations about a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things, man. So, yeah.
Yeah. And before we start this show, we have a question for you guys. How well can you guys take harsh advice or real
Yeah.
advice? Straight to the bone, no sugarcoating. How well
Yeah.
can you guys take that advice? What's up,
Yeah.
Joseph? How you doing?
What
When
was
was
the
the
last
last time?
time y'all
Mm-hmm.
received harsh advice?
Mm-hmm.
And how did you take it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do think that, and maybe getting a little ahead of myself, I will say this. I think that guys,
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, and I'm speaking in generalities here, generally, I
Mm-hmm.
think guys are
Mm-hmm.
more
Mm-hmm.
likely to
What's up?
receive harsh advice.
Yeah.
You know, more likely to have someone kind of get in your face to call you out on like
Mm-hmm.
all your bullshit. Just based off, guys
Mm-hmm.
are more likely to play like sports. I think like football. You always, why the hell you missed that block? This dude fat.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about like, if you ain't doing your job, somebody gonna let you know
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that you ain't doing
Yeah.
your job.
Yeah.
You know.
And Joseph said,
Um,
easy, take it like a man.
yeah, yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta. Um, but I do
Mm-hmm.
think that like, I don't think that ladies,
Mm-hmm.
especially as they get like as we get older, are
Mm-hmm.
used to receiving such advice, like
Mm-hmm.
so just cut
Cutthroat.
to the bone, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
without any regard to their feelings or
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, not to say women
Mm-hmm.
don't get criticized. Don't get that's not
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying. But I'm saying like when someone asks them for it,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they ask for advice,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I do it. Like if someone asks me for advice, a dude, I'm probably more likely to be more cutthroat with how I
Mm-hmm.
feel. I'll try to be nice, but he ain't get. I'm like, look, dude, you're stupid. You need to read more. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, I wouldn't trace that to a lady like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Let's see
But
what,
this dude,
yeah,
yeah,
straight up. Let's see what Carter said. I can take harsh advice for the most part pretty well. Sometimes it depends on what the advice is about. And then Yaku said, but question really is, what is considered average to who? People into some certain things and sometimes, yeah.
sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, that's a.
Mm-hmm.
First off, Carter, I agree with you. Like, it depends on the advice.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, from the perspective like if I ask for the advice,
Mm-hmm.
if I ask you to interject your opinion into whatever it is I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
at that point, I can't be mad that you give me your advice or your opinion, no matter what it is, because I've asked for it.
Knowing that the type of advice that you receive then from that person is usually cut straight to the bone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, they come into like, look, I think this idea isn't good. I think it's trash. I think this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I might be hurt because I'm like, wow, I believe, but
Mm-hmm.
like, I can't be mad at
Mm-hmm.
that person.
Mm-hmm.
I have to listen to what they say. I invited them into that part of
Mm-hmm.
my
Mm-hmm.
life
Mm-hmm.
with their opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
it
to
kind of
be
goes the way
fair,
y'all. Oh, go ahead.
oh yeah, oh
No, no, no,
I'm
no. Go ahead.
giving a little introduction to this. Kevin Samuel, this is the first time I heard of him. So
Mm,
I watched a few videos here and there, but like you said earlier, we spoke about this earlier before the show. He does this to everybody, and this
yeah,
lady that went into the show, she knows what exactly she's getting into. This is not the first
yeah,
time. She
yeah.
even
She
said,
even
"I
said
love
she
your
was a
show."
fan of the show. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. And so she knows exactly what type of advice that he gives. So, yeah. Anyways, I
yeah.
didn't mean to cut you off, Justin. Go
No,
ahead.
he didn't cut me off. I was gonna say, like, to Yaku's point, what is
Hmm.
considered average to who?
Hmm.
He's right. Like, I mean, different. Everyone has their preferences, and
Hmm.
beauty is in the eye of the
Hmm.
beholder. I truly believe that.
Hmm.
I will say this though,
Hmm.
when you talk about like just the general things, I think there are some general truths,
Yeah.
to the game. Um, and he was just very honest with her, which was the kind of like he basically told her the kind of man that you were going for, which you are, especially like I said in North Carolina, with that pay scale and everything, a 6-figure dude is in the top 10% of dudes of men. So you're already wiping out like 90% of guys right there with just that. And then he also said that he listed her situation. He did set up. I thought it was ruthless, but it was genius. When he was like, "Rate yourself. You can't use a 7." I was like, "Oh, that's that's a chess move. That's like that was oh my goodness." Why what? Oh, why did he say that?
Yeah, why 7?
Because 7 is a safe answer. Like 7 is the perfect
it's like
answer
a C
for
average,
like
average.
I feel it's like giving yourself like a B. It's like 7 is like, oh, I feel like I look good, but I ain't trying to sound arrogant. So by eliminating 7, you have to decide. Basically, he's saying, are you average or are you don't have 7 in there. You don't have that safe zone to say 7 and kind of be like, oh, okay. No, you got to put yourself into, what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, yeah, so I was like, damn, that was genius right there. But then, what do you say? I blame the parents. They always want their kids to think they look beautiful no matter how they look. Just kidding. Well, I mean, that goes to, like I said, the one thing I did like about this video, it hit so many issues. Because when he said that, she said herself that she felt like she was a 5 when she woke up. And then when she do her makeup, she's like a 6. And I mean, I'm like, yeah, look, she was pretty. She was pretty enough. You know what I mean? Like, it was, I don't think she was like, she's not unattractive, but she ranked herself a 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, first off, I'm like, well, where your self-confidence at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm like, where, it's not like she said, I'm a 6. And then she ranks herself average. Which was a setup. I'm gonna be blunt. That was a setup by him. It was a masterful setup, but it was. And so I'm like, what are you supposed to do with that information then? You know what I mean? He even to not scream, but he even like came to a like, what what do you look like under all that? Like she had the hair, the makeup, the lashes, the whole thing. She was like, what do you look like? And I was like, God damn.
What's up, Tina?
What's up, Tina? That was rough, man.
Yeah, he was like, what do you look like behind all that? She was like, well, I think, and then she was like, well, take that. She's like, what exactly did she say? I couldn't really.
No, she said, I look like this. And he goes, no, you don't. Or you wouldn't be having it. You wouldn't have it on.
You wouldn't have it on. Yeah.
Would you? I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
But she still, but all right, that's the thing though, Yaku. He said, but she's still trying to be a gold digger though. It's not for everyone. She wasn't trying to be a gold digger. I really don't think that, because it came out later on that she makes 6 figures. She has her own business. It's like a pet grooming business. So she's making 6 figures. So her reasoning was, if I make 6 figures, I want a man that's gonna make 6 figures. Because she said so herself, I would have a problem to submit to a man who didn't make 6 figures.
She wants to respect him.
Yeah, she said. Yeah, she said I would have a problem submitting, but basically, man, like she wouldn't respect a dude who didn't make at least 6 figures. My problem with that though is, and I think a lot of people do this nowadays, is I wrote this down because I want to say it right. She using her personal standards to qualify herself for the high value dude, but they don't value that. You know what I mean? Basically, like if any dude, and Kevin Samuels said, any dude in the top 10% that's making his own money don't really care how much money
she makes.
The woman's making.
Yeah.
They really don't. I'm not in the top 10 percentile making that money, but I've seen a lot of dudes where I can tell you, they don't care. They did anyone from a Hooters waitress to a doctor or a nurse that's making that kind of money, but it doesn't matter. Like that they don't look at that. That's not a box to be checked off. And then So, and she kept going back to that, and like I said, even Kevin Samuels said what was just like high value men don't care about that. They don't care about your money.
Mm-hmm.
They care. He said that what they care about is how you look, how
Mm-hmm.
you look in your
I know it may
situation.
sound, I know it may sound very shallow, and it
Yeah,
is, and it
it
is.
is. It is very shallow,
But
but
men are more visual creatures.
that's the thing. There is some truth to that.
Mm-hmm.
There is some truth to that,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and he was like, yeah, and I think she had a hard time accepting it. Like, I feel like that was her shining star. Was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm a businesswoman. I make six figures.
Yeah.
I hustle. So my man should make. And he was saying like, that's fine. That's well and good. That's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
that ain't. You need to sell to what they buying,
Mm-hmm.
and those men ain't buying that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then unfortunately, it turns out like the rest of her situation wasn't necessarily uh, the most. Let's say the most inviting for a dude who is in that
Mm-hmm.
type percentile and
Somehow.
maybe
Mm-hmm.
has what's up, man, and
Yeah.
has like the options,
Mm-hmm.
the luxury of a choice to a certain grade, and because at one
Mm-hmm.
point the dude starts listing off her I'm
Justin,
sorry, I'm laughing because it was so
before you
rough. Go
before you
ahead, man.
even start, I want to mention that he runs a business and she runs a business. And
Mhm.
in the beginning of the show, I don't know how his show works exactly, but he gets people to call in.
Yeah.
He called it disagreement day, but
Mhm.
she called in saying, "Look, I love your show. I love watching it, yada yada yada." And then she was like, "Yeah, I understand." And he was telling her, "Look, it's disrespectful because I'm trying to do my business. You coming in here, and I'm telling you that today is disagreement day, but yet you still want to ask your question because you want to know you want to find out."
Yeah.
And he was like, "You know what? I'm going to use this as a lesson. I am going to use this as a lesson because she was disrespecting his time. And he's been telling her that. So automatically, he's not going to have a good taste in his mouth about her."
Yeah. And then on top of that, he even said, I think at one point he even said like it would be better to do a private consultation. So it's not like he wanted to use this to like even go viral or put her on
No.
blast,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she asked for it, and damn, she got it, dog.
She got it. Yeah, she got it.
Video
Yeah.
was rough,
Mm-hmm.
man. But yeah, he went on to list like her whole situation,
Yeah.
and it. Yeah, he did sell. He was like 30. He was like average looking woman,
You're average
average
looking.
35,
Yeah.
35 year old average looking woman.
Mm-hmm.
The average looking woman with a kid, average looking woman with a 13-year-old son, with
With
a
like a
average
shady
looking woman
father or
with a
something like that. Yeah.
sketchy baby daddy. He goes, it
Yeah.
doesn't get better the more.
I say,
Every time I go on, it gets worse. And I was like, Jesus Christ,
yeah,
man.
that was a little rough. That was a little
That
bit
was
rough.
rough and shit. And, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't think he was saying this either, but he was she had pissed him off, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah. At that
I don't think
point.
he's saying that
Mm-hmm.
women with certain situations
Mm-hmm.
don't deserve love or to get the dude that they want to get.
Mm-hmm.
But what he was saying is, she was sitting so hard on this. He got to make six figures, and I want the man that does this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
But she wasn't looking kind of at like her total situation
Exactly. Yeah.
and asking like, what exactly. I hate this phrase too, but the whole "what am I bringing to the table?" And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, you got a business, though a successful business. I don't want to
Yeah.
take that away from her because but you're
She worked
not.
hard for it 9 years. 9 years. And
Yeah,
it's only
yeah,
been
works
3
real
years
hard.
that she's making six figures. Yeah.
Six figures, yeah. So she's blowing up, man. So
Yeah.
like, I'm happy for her for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the problem is what she's really bringing to the table isn't
Mm-hmm.
what the men in that category
Mm-hmm.
honestly are really looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have that choice, it's going to be harder. And I mean, that just
Mm-hmm.
is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, what the
Yaku?
yeah, this isn't a Hallmark movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not. But I mean, this is the thing too. I want to point out though is like he's that, like you said, he's harsh with everybody. Like I watched a clip with a dude where he told this dude that he was like, you don't make no money, you fat, and you got a little dick. So you ain't gonna get no. He said that. I was like, God damn! Like, how do you know? Like, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that was
harsh.
That was harsh because the truth is, like, as harsh as his tone was with the lady, he personally never attacked her appearance or anything. He really didn't attack her.
No.
He just kind of listed like the whole like I said, her situation. And it wasn't until she was kind of being indignant and was like, you don't have to be so mean. And that he was like, you know what, you gonna die alone. I was like,
yeah, we're jumping ahead of ourselves. But at the end, he was like, look, book a session. He was like, yeah, you gonna die alone. You're gonna die alone. You just.
And then he's like, get the fuck off my show.
He's like, yeah, he was like, book a session.
Oh man!
Okay, no. At that point, so I can see where he's coming from that angle because he was constantly telling her, "Look, I'm trying to. You calling me?
Yeah.
I'm giving you advice. I'm telling you this advice. You're not listening. I'm telling you not once, not twice, but multiple times.
Yeah.
Yet you still don't want to listen." And at the end, I could see that he was a little bit agitated, a little bit annoyed. So he was like, look, you're going to die alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now, of course, the media or like the internet, they kind of just make him sound like a bad person without any context.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, he's probably misogynistic or...
Yeah. I mean,
you just take one piece. Yeah.
As a black dude too, I saw a lot of comments of like, how dare he like tear down another black woman online, and like, who does he think he is, and how does he think why does he feel qualified to like say this, and this is the problem with it, and it's like. I can understand that.
We all die alone.
Yeah, we do literally all die alone.
Yeah, literally.
I can understand some of those critiques, but I'm saying like those are people who, like you were saying, also probably watched like a shortened clip, because there's two versions of this video. There are many versions, but there's like a 20-minute clip, and then there's like a 6-minute clip or something like that.
Watch the 20 minutes and
watch the 20-minute, and you'll get the complete story.
What's up, JR? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? And then these were also people who I think it's weird because we live in this cancel culture where like everyone gets criticized for like any little thing they do that doesn't fit whatever narrative they're supposed to fit, but then at the same time people can't take criticism.
I feel like it's been more difficult to give constructive criticism nowadays. Yeah.
And did you ever see did I ever Seams link? Did I ever send a link? Is that what you're saying? I did not send a link. I gotta remember the links I need to set up so I can set up that link tree and have all this stuff in one place for y'all to watch.
Yeah.
But but
we put the link in your profile, Justin.
Yeah, we'll put them in my profile so they can go there. Because I ain't got much shit going on. You got like 18 links.
I have 3.
You got your whatever. I got 1. So yeah, we can put it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, most definitely that criticizing people is not like, it's weird. It's a weird kind of, you can't criticize people, but then people are quick to criticize and cancel folks and all this other stuff. But then I'm like, you have this situation where like she called into his show. She's asking this advice. She's not respecting his time, which was something I didn't realize because I saw the short clip first and then you brought it up. And then I saw that long clip and I was like, oh shit, okay. Yeah, okay. I really get it now. And he does this to everybody. Like this is his MO. And he wasn't speaking, he didn't say anything untrue, unfortunately.
Yeah. And he didn't attack her appearance. She ran it herself.
Yeah. Now he set her up. I ain't gonna sit there and act like he was benevolent. He set her up kind of smooth, like for real. But yeah, he didn't.
He didn't attack her.
Yeah, and I don't think what he said was just the blanket truth. It's not 100% truth, but it's more truth than not.
Hmm.
And it was something that
Hmm.
you had to like. I think that in this day and age, it's this weird thing too, where like we see it online all the time, where like ladies will really have like an insane list of like a guy. This dude needs to be 6 foot. He needs to make over 6 figures. He can't have no kids. He can't be married. He can't do this. He
Hmm.
can't do that. Like he can't have all this stuff. But then you gotta you when you want to ask like the person who has this crazy list, well, what are you bringing to the table?
Hmm.
What are you doing? Then you get the responses like, oh, I am the table. I'm the whole
Hmm.
table. That's what I'm doing. I get
Hmm.
it, and that's like that don't really correlate. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
Once again, like I said, you gotta sell what somebody's trying to buy.
Yeah.
And that's just what
Hmm.
it is. If you playing that game, if that's the kind of dude you going for,
Hmm.
you know, it, it does. Yaku's right. That list gets shorter as they get, for the most part.
As they get older, yeah. Hmm.
For the most part, but it's still some stuff on there that's a little wild, and it's like not looking at the total situation,
Hmm.
But I would say if you just playing the numbers, like if you want to go for this level of person or a certain kind of dude, then I think you need to understand
Hmm.
that that's the game you playing.
Hmm.
That's the
Hmm.
game you playing, and you got to
Hmm.
sell what they trying to buy,
Hmm.
and it
And
just is what it is.
and to answer Justin's question, he just got in. He said, "What are we talking about? We're talking about the advice that Kevin Samuels gave. It went viral recently, and he gave harsh advice to this lady. We're gonna
Mhm.
put the link in thumb action.
Yeah,
Justin
I'm gonna set all that
link
stuff up.
later, right after the show. Yeah,
But yeah,
so
he
you guys can watch it. Yeah.
yeah, but it's
Mhm.
most definitely like I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
He did
Go
ask
ahead,
a
man.
question. He did ask a question to her. She said, "Why can't you just get a guy at your level?" She
Yeah.
couldn't answer that. She couldn't really
Hmm.
answer it fully. She was like, "Well, they all want to do this, and there's like all these other characteristics," but she couldn't directly answer it. She had to
Hmm.
use all these different type of examples, and it's based off like, oh, the type of guys that I date. Eventually, when I find out that I do have a business, they want to be involved.
Hmm.
They want to be involved. Um, yeah. So, what do you think about that, Justin?
I mean, I think that's not doing being honest and being like not looking at a self reflection. That was an excuse because you got faced with a certain reality that
Hmm.
you just didn't want to accept and
Yeah.
face. You
Hmm.
know. Um, Yeah, that's all it was, man. And I
Hmm.
mean, let's be real with that. Like they're geniuses at that kind of stuff, redirecting questions and shit like that. I
Yeah.
saw this one clip, but this is a little off topic, but I saw this clip a while
Hmm.
ago
Hmm.
where it was a married couple, and this
Hmm.
guy asked his wife, which hats off to him, but he
Hmm.
goes, basically like if like what he asked why women force monogamy on men,
Hmm.
especially if they can't keep up with that man desire. So he was basically saying, if you know your dude got a high sex drive,
Hmm.
why are you forcing monogamy on them if you're not willing to like fulfill that need?
Hmm.
And to be blunt, she like for about 10 minutes danced around everything else,
Hmm.
but
I know.
didn't answer the
Yeah.
question. And then
Yeah.
eventually he was finally like, I'm not talking about all that. I'm asking you this question. He
Yeah.
was I
Can you
got yeah,
answer that? Yeah.
and she eventually answered, and the answer was like, well, if I knew what marriage would entail, I would have realized I wasn't ready for it. Something like that.
Hmm.
So, but I was like, okay, I had to take my hat off to him. Now, that whole topic is whatever. But
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
to take my hat off to him because I was like, that he was able to listen to all that, stay on point. You know what I mean? Not
And
get
then.
upset.
Hmm.
Not get drug into it. And they're married too. So I'm
Hmm.
just like, they've been dealing with each other for a long time. So obviously, he knows the game. But I say that to say this, all this is like, yeah, she did that and danced around because she didn't want to answer that question, man.
And which brings me to my next question to you, Justin. I want to ask you this. He said, now you don't have to answer if you don't feel comfortable, but he said, now here's the problem with you black women. He said that. He's like, now here's the problem with you black women. What exactly did he mean by that, or what do you think?
I mean, if I'm being honest, if I'm getting
Mhm.
all that, I'm gonna need like an hour and a half and do like
Yeah.
a history lesson and all this stuff.
Mhm.
But I will say that the truth is, relationships in the I think this is my opinion. So
And also, if you guys feel comfortable listening that too, Yaku,
yeah,
let me know.
yeah, this is
Hmm.
my opinion. I
Yeah.
think relationships in the black communities have been uh,
Hmm.
strained and splintered for a very, very, very long time.
Hmm.
For various reasons, man, dating all the way back from slavery to,
Hmm.
incarceration rates to, Jim Crow, just everything.
Hmm.
Not making an excuse, but I mean, it's a reality.
Hmm.
And I think that what he was saying is that I'm trying to think how I can say this without
Hmm.
like clearly and get my
Hmm.
point across. A big problem is kind of this myth, in my opinion, is this myth and like this persona of like the independent black woman,
Hmm.
and which to a degree was made out of it was developed out of necessity because of the
Hmm.
the situation you're living in. You have a lot of men that's like getting killed or incarcerated. The
Yeah.
family unit's plenty. You gotta do what you gotta do. But I do think what it did was it perverted the kind of the household dynamic between black men and black women because
Hmm.
that morphed into from a like I have to do what I have to do to some degree of like, well, I don't need a man
Hmm.
to do to live my life. I don't need a man for nothing,
Hmm.
you know. And it's like if you come in there with that kind of mindset, how you gonna have a healthy relationship with
Hmm.
anything? It becomes a very combative. I think it becomes a very combative dynamic.
Hmm.
The last thing any dude wants to do is go out, work all day, and then come home and then be like questioned at home or like have to butt heads for everything you do at home.
Hmm.
So I think that, and because of that, because of like the destruction of like the black family unit
Hmm.
and just not having role models.
Hmm.
If you don't see it, if you don't see like you know a lot of like married couples and how
Hmm.
they interact and stuff, how you gonna know how to do that?
Hmm.
I mean, just real talk. So, I mean, it's a lot more to it. That's kind of like a general thing, but I really think that that's a big part of it. It's a whole kind of like just almost like a lack of respect and an inflated sense of worth.
Hmm.
Not to say people ain't worth stuff. Don't get me wrong, but
Hmm.
it's just
Hmm.
yeah, kind of knowing your level, man. Like,
Hmm.
or kind of knowing like at least being realistic with like where you are.
Hmm. What Yaku
You
say
know,
is, if you can read that, Justin, it's kind of hard
yeah.
to.
It's like Hollywood, they think black ladies are hard to work with, and the stigma of why black guys are going after white women instead of black women because they feel it's easy. No, that's a big part of it too. Like, I know, like black women most definitely get a label of like
Hmm.
being difficult or being
Hmm.
angry, or all these like horrible stereotypes that isn't
Hmm.
necessarily true. Or if it does
Hmm.
happen, it's like extenuating circumstances.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
things where like, and I know this from experience, and I know this from like like she might be dealing with some kind of undercurrent of racism or just some
Hmm.
bullshit at work, and then all of a sudden
Hmm.
some little microaggressions or some fucking underlying thing, and then when she
Hmm.
finally confronts it and blows up, it's like, why are you so hostile with it, that kind of
Yeah.
shit. So like I said,
It's like
that's
pressing
a
your buttons
whole
every day, constantly, and it's like, why you mad?
yeah. And it's
Yeah.
and look, I ain't gonna front, man. It's stressful being black. Like people don't really understand that. I don't expect other people to understand it.
I don't
Um,
understand it.
yeah, but
I don't
it
act like
is.
I try to.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's the different reality.
Hmm.
It truly is.
Hmm.
So yeah, but I think when he says that comment,
Hmm.
it's it's not untrue, but that's a way, way, way deeper scar that needs to be healed
Hmm.
than just black women need to get their act together. Because it ain't that easy at all.
Hmm.
Black dudes have a lot of work to do, but we ain't the only ones that got work to do.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I do think that gets left out at times. A
Hmm.
lot of times it's like black dudes need to step up, black men need to do this, black men need to do that, but it's not looked
Hmm.
at the other side of to like, okay, so what do you have to do too? It's a complete thing. It's 50-50. Like, it's 50% your fault, 50% my fault. How can we come together to fix this? But yeah. So yeah,
And neither side wants to really like concede that.
I don't know. I don't even think it's that. I think either side doesn't really know how. There's no real forum. There's no like black forum where all black people can go. So we can have these discussions and come up with a plan, And people got different ideas, and people got different, different takes, and feel differently. And it's hard for folks to concede or to even look past themselves, man. And then you have the other stuff out here where it's like like Yaku said, Hollywood and the stigma of the black guys going like after like white women and stuff like that. It's even that I think is super, super deep seated in a lot of stuff. This is excluding just pure love and attraction. So you love who you. I truly believe like whoever you love, So I don't think that can be helped if you fall in love with somebody. I don't think it should matter. But on this and that like point in particular, there is this whole stigma of like, when he was in the like black dude in the hood or whatever. If he goes to college and gets successful, then all of a sudden you get a white girl, and then all of a sudden that scene is like, oh, they perverted that into like that's what he thinks success is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's not. No one looks back on like all the other stuff that it could possibly be to lead up to that. And I will say this: in some points, that is the case. It's not black and white. Like I said, the older I get, the more I realize how great shit is. Yeah. But a lot of times, it's more to that. Like I remember, I'll say this part, and then we can jump on. Like I remember, there was a few years ago, some you know who Donald Glover is, right? Childish Gambino.
No.
Jesus Christ, man! You ain't seen Shawshank. What the fuck I'm gonna do with you, man? All right, I'm gonna
one step at a time, Justin.
I'm gonna give you some more homework. All right, I'm gonna give you some more homework. So, Donald Glover, he's an actor, comedian, singer, rapper, and he came out. He's on Childish Gambino too. He came out with this record called "This Is America," which is a very powerful music video, very graphic imagery. It went viral. It was all over the place, and honestly, it was like I can't remember if it was before or after the dude who got choked out. Not George Floyd, the Eric Gardner case. I think it was after, I'm not sure. Anyway, it came out like at this hot button time. Long story short, a lot of people like rallied around this video and was like, yeah, he's speaking for the black community, all this stuff. And then it came out, a subset of black women came out and was like, he can't speak for the black community because he doesn't date black women. And then it was like, it was after. Thank you, man. Thank you. And then so they were like, well, he doesn't date black women, so he can't come out and speak for the black community because how can he speak for us? He don't even like black women and all this shit. And this dude, but this is the thing. This is one of these dirty secrets that I'm gonna say, and I might try to have my foot held to the fire, but I'm gonna say it anyway. When it comes to dating black women, the worst thing you can be is corny. You hear me? If you're a corny dude, you have no fucking hope at all. I don't care what anybody say. It's over for you.
I like how serious you looked into the lens when you said that.
Because it's the truth. That's the worst thing you can hear. If you, I'm just be blunt. If you like a black woman and she say, I don't like you, and then the girl asks her why, if she could say anything, he stank, I don't think he cute, he fat, he broke, you could get past all that shit. If she say he corny, it's over. Just go on. It's done. Yeah, Byron Allen is corny. You know what I mean? Well, Donald Glover is a corny dude. That's what. So, and he came out and said like black women wasn't checking for me when I was coming up. So he went with who liked him. You see what I'm saying? Which ended up being like a lot of white girls, Asian girl. I mean, dude is still a dude. He gonna go for whoever's buying what he's selling. Yeah. And now that he got successful, it's like, well, he should be dating Black. And it's like, but in his mind, he's like, y'all didn't want me when I was a corny. He like anime. He like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
like comedy. He's like, you know, honestly, he's a corny guy for real. He just became super successful. And it's like, so one now I'm successful. I'm all the, you know, so it's like intricacies like that.
Mm-hmm.
That Orlando costume wasn't fully. Yeah, he ain't he ain't Billy D. Williams smooth. We know this. Billy
Yeah, y'all
D,
gotta have to fill me in with all this later after
yeah,
this.
you need that's a week of homework, all right, for you. But
Yeah.
but see, that's something that's not talked about either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are a lot. It's kind of like the whole. We've seen commercials where it's like nerds rule the world. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of nerdy dudes who were nerdy in growing up who didn't get attention or weren't saw as like, you know, the high value in their youth, or he's a nerd, I don't want that. And then you grow up to be successful. And now that you're successful, they're like, well, how come all the successful men ain't going for, you know, us? And it's like, well, you could have invested when this moment wasn't getting no, you know, wasn't getting no shine. But that's not what you brought.
Now, yeah.
So, you know, so you got that part too. That's something that's not, I don't think that's really talked about much.
Being corny.
Not being corny, but like, you know, how choices earlier in life or lack of choices just affect how people are as adults. You know? So I think so. I mean, I know that was a long answer, but that's a very layered question. And the truth is, I ain't even scratched the surface of it for real. In my opinion, you know. Yeah. So, yeah.
I know we went off a little bit on a tangent, but it's important because that was related to the question that I was asking you earlier about what did he mean by this is the problem with you black women.
Yeah.
And thank you for answering that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I really answered, but I say that to say when he said that, it's not, that's a very, 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 very layered statement. It's not just like, oh, you just got to fix this, and then it's like, you talking about generations worth of shit that, you know, you're trying to unpack. So, you know, that is what it is.
Let's go to what she said. She said, I feel like I'm an exception to the rule.
Everybody feels like they're an exception.
Everybody feels like that. And I think that's the problem with the society now. Is because everybody feels like they're special. And the thing is, and you like you said, Justin, you was like, I don't like people that says that, like, but what brings us to the table? Like, what can you provide to the table? And I remember one thing that one of my clients actually told me this. Let's just use a car, for example, like a Lamborghini. Let's just say you don't want a Lamborghini. Like, no, I don't want a Lamborghini. He said, look, Mitchell, can you buy a Lamborghini right now? We're using that as an example. Can you buy a Lamborghini right now? I was like, no. And he was like, okay, look, I'm not trying to like put you down or say anything, but let's be real. Why don't you get to the point where you could get a Lamborghini and then say you don't want it? Get to that level first. And that shed a lot of light to me because a lot of people say, oh, I don't want certain things and I don't want that. So before you start disqualifying everything else, what can you do it first?
Yeah. Nah, you told me that, and I love that. I wrote that down myself, man. That's a great statement. That's a great way to look at shit too. Because, like, I mean, yeah, saying I don't want this. It's like, can you even afford that?
Yeah, can you do it first?
Can you get it? And when you can get it, then, it becomes a different story. But if you can't even get it, then why? You know?
Yeah. And that pill might be very difficult for a lot of people to swallow because there's too much ego. There's too much ego in a way. It's like, no, I don't even want that. I have too much, too high standard for myself. It's like, okay, like, but you never even had it in the beginning. So what makes you think that you're in a position to say all this type of stuff?
I mean, yeah, it's getting ahead of yourself.
Exactly.
You know, and I don't think, and don't get me wrong, I do believe you need to plan for the future, have a vision of the future and what you want for it, but you can't just all of a sudden you gotta be realistic with where
Mhm.
you at too.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, oh, I wouldn't buy them. It's like, you can't afford you. I mean, we said this actually when we was talking before. It's funny you brought that up because I remember we was just talking about this whole situation in general, and I think I said something along the lines of like, this woman, she wants to go buy a Bentley, but
Mhm.
she got like a Honda Civic money.
Yeah.
She got like Honda credit, Honda asset, but you want to
Yeah.
buy a Bentley. It's like, no,
Mhm.
now
but
you
that's what I want.
yeah, but are you in a position to really get that? And this is the thing. If you craft enough, you might be able to flip and get the Bentley with your Honda assets. Okay, is it possible? Yeah. Is it likely? Hell no.
Can you do that? Yeah.
You know.
Let's see what
Yeah.
Carter said. He said that smart get to the level where you can and do it, and then say you don't want it instead of being at that level to get
It and go ahead and make up your mind.
yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
The
But
white background makes it a little bit more difficult for me to read.
it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. But yeah, I think
Mhm.
I think that was a great piece of advice, man. I
Mhm.
think,
Yeah. Yeah, and
everyone should
it's a
apply
little
that more.
humbling. It's a little bit more humbling. Like I get it. I see. Know your dreams. Have a plan for your dream because a dream without a plan is just a wish list.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whatever purpose that you have, whatever purpose that you guys have right now, and we spoke about this earlier too, where not all purposes become a path. Not all. What was it? Not
Not
all
all
passion.
passions
Not
becomes a
all
purpose.
passion
Yeah.
become a purpose. Yeah. Not all, but it leaves clues. Those are your clues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Hmm.
Most definitely. Just find that. But yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
I think we kind of in agreement though. Like it was,
Hmm.
it was harsh advice
It was
to put
harsh.
it mildly, but it was honest
Hmm.
advice, and a lot of people don't like it. A lot of
Nope.
people don't want
Because
to
it
hear the
hurts their feelings.
criticism. Yeah, it hurts their feelings. And like they say he was
Hmm.
down in women and
Hmm.
all this stuff. And I'm like, he didn't have to be so mean. And it's,
There
it's
was a
medicine.
lot more involved. Like
Yeah,
he
it's
kept
it's
telling her she won't listen.
well, like you
And he
said before, a lot of people didn't watch that 20-minute video either. They
yeah,
watched that one clip.
yeah.
And and then I'll say this too, this shit is medicine, man. Medicine don't taste good, but it was meant to make you feel better. A lot of
Sit
stuff that
yeah.
that's good for us really ain't that enjoyable. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? And
Medicine don't taste good.
and he gave her a
Yeah.
food for thought. He gave her
Yeah.
medicine that hopefully she goes back. And I'm not. And this is the thing too, because I saw a lot of that where it was like, why can't she have standards? She needs to have standards. And why is it bad that I'm like, he didn't tell her to go get some bum ass dude who
Yeah.
was in it. He said that for the
What
level of dude you want, your chances of
that
getting it are not very high.
and you're gonna die alone.
And because that's all you going for, you gonna
You're
die
gonna die alone. That okay. I think that last comment that he put down, he's like, book a session with me. No, he said you're gonna die alone. Book a session. I think that was a little bit harsh. That was a little bit
Oh no,
brutal.
that was way harsh.
Yeah. But at that point, he called him, told her, he gave his advice, free advice. She don't want to listen.
Hmm.
Yeah, she don't want to listen, and that's what happened. And of course, like we're all human too. So at the end of the day, he was getting annoyed, and he was like, "Look, you
You
wasting
know what
my
that
time."
was? That was a verbal ass whooping. That's what that was.
Yes, that's
That
a
was
grown
that. Yeah,
ass
that's when you were a kid and your parent told
whooped
you
your
to
ass,
stop doing something, and you
and you
kept
thought,
doing it, and you didn't listen,
yes,
and it ended with them whooping your
your
ass.
ass,
You
and
got
that's
an
an
ass whooping.
adult
It was
ass
just
whooping.
that was an adult verbal ass whooping. That's what that was. All right.
Yeah,
He's a harsh dude. Okay.
yeah,
I wish I could be as harsh as he was, because it takes a level of ruthlessness I don't know if I have, man. That dude was
yeah,
harsh, but it
yeah,
was true, man. And
yeah.
it did get a lot of people talking,
Hmm.
when they saw the video. It got a lot of people talking for some of the right and some of the wrong reasons. But I do hope it put some folks who maybe, I don't want to say think too highly of themselves, but really make them self-examine. Like, okay, what am I really doing? Like, what am I really offering to
what
to
can you
make me
provide to that
believe,
table?
that I deserve a certain level of whatever it is you want. That's why we always say, work on yourself, man. Work on yourself.
That's a question to you guys too right now. Do you think that the list that you have right now is too high? Is it realistic?
Yeah. I mean, that's a big one. Is it realistic? Is it too high? Is it a bunch of arbitrary bullshit? Are you asking for stuff that let's be honest.
Justin said, my parents think my requirement for a woman is too high. What is your requirement? What is your requirement? What do you want? I know we spoke a little bit earlier before, but what do you have to put on the table? What can you get before that? Let's be real. What can you get?
Yeah. It's like, what are you, once again, what are you offering?
Yeah, what can you offer?
What are you
that they're willing to buy?
And I also say this too. Like, you gotta, I mean, you just said it. You gotta realize you gotta sell to what people are buying.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, people don't like to say that. People want to make it seem like you should find love and you should do this. But if you're going out, if you have this requirement, you need to sell what this person's trying to buy.
And then that's what Justin said. He responded. He said, I can't describe the look, but just someone who has a strong personality, but not too strong that she becomes bitchy. That's a little bit contradicting. Fat mouth, don't be crazy. Number one.
I don't think that's hold on today. Let me get this buzzer. The crazy thing. Hold on. I'm gonna comment on that. Give me 1 second.
For sure. Go ahead. I'm gonna wait till Justin comes back to answer that. But yeah, don't be crazy.
That's what happens when you live in an apartment, boy. You get all kind of stuff messing up your show.
It's all good.
Number one, don't be crazy. I mean, that would be a good one. That would be a real good one, But I think all some level of crazy, we gotta find the crazy we can deal with. That's all that is. Which is easier said than done a lot of times.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on Justin's comment?
About the bitchiness?
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of get what he's saying, but I will say this. Listen, the women gonna nag you, okay? I think that's what he means. Like, he doesn't want to be nagged, but they are gonna nag you.
No matter what, it's gonna be a part of the package.
And this is the thing.
I know it.
If they stop nagging you, you got a problem.
Yeah.
Because that means she don't give a damn about you anymore.
And that's it.
And it's over. All right. So Julie said it.
Yeah,
all girls a little bit. Yeah.
And that's where you guys come to us and be like, well, how do I get her back? And we'll tell you
in their own way. But I will say this, it's different from like woman to woman. So you just gotta find a way that, to be honest, you can deal with it, you can handle it, don't bug you so much. But they all gone. You live in a pipe. Listen, if you get a girl who don't nag you, you dating a dude. And you do what you do. I don't judge, but I'm just giving you what I feel it is. All right, to some degree, they all gonna nag on some level, man. And like I said, you want them to nag, because if they ain't nagging, then they don't give a fuck about you at all. So just and we talked before, man. Just work on yourself, man. Keep working on your goals. Keep focusing on that stuff. No, not that way. Bitchy as in, for example, you talk about my man, I'm gonna fuck you up. That kind of bitchy. You kind of want a little bit of that, though.
I'm just reading Julie's comment. Yeah, trying
Yeah.
to wind people up. She getting cheeky. That's what it's in her name.
I will say this. You do want a girl that's gonna kind of rile, but now you don't want no. I
That
don't think
wants you. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. I don't think you want a girl that's just gonna be,
Go ahead.
reckless.
Yeah.
You don't want a girl that's
Yeah.
gonna start to fight for no reason. But a little bit of, watch your mouth, or I'll slap you. Is
Mm.
I think that's good. I think that's a little salt and pepper for the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. It means she cares, right? It means she
Yeah,
cares.
I mean,
Yeah.
she cares about you. She ain't gonna let nobody else bad mouth you. You know? Oh, does he? You would know. So I don't know this. She
Yeah.
giving all your secrets on her.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, that anyway, and just to let people know, we actually discussed. I was like, should we take that kind of tone with this show? Should we
What do you
be
mean?
more like Kevin said
Ruthless.
and just be ruthless?
You gonna die alone.
But I ain't got
They
it
get
in me,
clipped
dog.
for that, and that's it.
You going?
They just gonna clip that, and not the rest of the whole hour that we just spent talking about what just happened.
You gonna die alone.
You gonna die alone.
Get the off my show. That was just
My show. And I like how he did it too. He went and dragged and dropped. Like he didn't miss a single click.
yeah. You go die alone.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the exception.
Yeah.
That was a lot of. I ain't gonna front though. There was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. There was a part of me though. I did feel sorry for that girl. Well, I say girl, for that lady.
Mhm.
For a little bit. I did, because she knew what she was getting. I don't know what, that's the thing. I don't know what she expected. I'm like, you say you're a fan. Okay, I watched clips of this dude for like 30 minutes, including that 20-minute clips. And I'm like, okay, I already see what you get into when you call it show.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? He is not a mean guy, but he is ruthless with what he has to say. Like, he does not mince words. So, yeah. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, what did you think was going to happen? Did you think he was going to be like, oh, well, it's going to be okay for you. You're going to find. That's not his MO, man.
No.
And people call him misogynist. I would actually argue that he's a true equalitist, because I don't know if that's a real word.
Let's just use that word, Justin.
Yeah, I made it up.
Use it. He's an equalitist.
Because he treated her just like he would treat any bum dude who comes in. And I ain't saying she a bum, but any dude who thinks he's too big for his britches, he would treat them the exact same way. So I would actually say he is not only treats women equal, he is a proponent of feminists to a degree. Because he showed her no mercy the same way he would show anyone no mercy. So I mean, and honestly, he got her true equality.
What's the look? He even held back a little bit. That's what I felt. He held back.
Yeah, he was nice until the very end.
Yeah,
because it was several times where he was like, "Don't make me say it." Like, you know what I'm trying to say. Don't make me say it.
What?
And then at one point he even goes, "You're a sweet girl. Just go find an average dude."
Yeah. She was like, "No, I don't want that." She was like, "But they don't want you."
Yeah.
Men like that have options. They don't want you. You're average looking at best. Ooh.
Go find an average dude.
At best.
That's not a bad, what's wrong with average people? What's wrong with being average? Everybody's not an outlier.
But that's the thing, though. Society tells us that, we're better than that. But also, you're not doing anything to better yourself. And if you are, great.
But once again, you also got to look at your choice, because the truth is, prime example, we live in California, right?
Mm-hmm.
We live in a very expensive part of California.
Mm-hmm.
So if you making six figures in North Carolina, you are balling.
Yeah,
you really are.
Yeah.
Making six figures out here, I think it was like $155,000. You live technically below the poverty line.
Mm-hmm.
So 6 figures ain't really shit depending on your region.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, she has to.
She got to move out here.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is if she moved out here, then her one attribute that she kept going towards, which was like, I make six figures, I do. That don't mean shit out here because you still below the poverty line. So you could be making 100,000, you could be making 45,000. When it comes to that graph, you on the same level. You know what I mean? Out there, yeah, you making six figures. It's harder to make six figures. That money goes way longer, and she did it. But by having that category, especially out there, that is the top 10% of men in North Carolina. That's period, but especially in somewhere like North Carolina, it's like, where are you gonna find these dudes? Where are you gonna find them? First off,
to be fair, she also never said only in North Carolina. So hey, maybe there's a potential somewhere out there. But he kept it real for her, gave her the advice. She didn't want to take it. It was free advice.
But I would say, I'll rebuttal with this. So even if she says not in North Carolina, she has a business, right? She has her own business that she's running, a pet grooming business. So I'm assuming that, she's heavily involved. She's probably, it's not just a managerial role at that point. Like she's probably still, day-to-day operations. So she can't up and leave. She got a 13-year-old son. So she can't just up and leave and be in a long distance relationship. Yeah. To like visit a dude without having all this stuff going on. So when she says that, this is an assumption, but I assume she wants somebody within that vicinity. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Yeah.
Especially the way she was talking, because if that's
because
the case,
her business is in North Carolina too.
Yeah. So it's not
unless
even
it's like a remote business.
Pick up and go.
Yeah, she does pet grooming, so.
Yeah, like my like that's a very hands-on. That's not like software where you kind of put it out in the world. That's a very service, time for money industry. So I'm like, it's not like she could just up and be like, oh, I'm gonna fly to New York for a few days and like leave all this behind. So like she's talking about, I'm assuming she's talking about a dude in that area, and like I don't know where the hell you gonna find this. And then even the dudes that are there, I mean, he kept why would they go for you? That's the question. Why would they go for you? And she tried, and and I know it sounds like we bashing this chick, but it's not. I don't think it's bashing because it was just she came with facts that weren't factual. She was like, young women don't like older men was her number one thing. I was like, have you not seen? Like, you living in a fantasy world at that point. How many old men that they got a whole industry? That's what the sugar babies is for. Like, they get with older men because they're more mature and established, and they can, like, so like right there, you living in a fantasy world. Like, you're not really thinking about what am I offering, what am I bringing to the table to make me the prize, and not that bullshit. Like, I'm the prize because I'm just me. Not that shit. Like, what are you really doing? Like, where is your market value? People don't like to talk about that, but that's a fact, especially when women deal with dudes, because we are so much more visual. So much more visual.
And that's when you talked about the whole woman don't date down.
Yeah, and I mean, thank you. That was a prime example of our last show with the whole dominance hierarchy, and women tend to date across and up. They really do in that hierarchy. So she's kind of like earned her way out of a viable mate.
But that's not what guys want to buy.
Yeah, dudes don't care about your bank account. They don't care. As a matter of fact, a lot of dudes. Yaku, I'm a visual artist. Yes, you are. A lot of dudes probably won't. There are a lot of dudes who, honestly, whose egos are fragile, who want their woman to make less than them. Because, it makes them feel I make more than her. You know what I mean? Like, there is some ego to that. A lot of ego to that. I ain't going to sit here and even act like there isn't. So, but she's like, she has earned her way out, at least out of the dating pool in her area. But then it becomes like,
Justin says something. I'm not going to read that line, but I'm going to tell you straight up right now. Get that out of your head.
Yeah.
And for the people, get that.
You better than that.
Get that shit out of your head. Yeah.
Yeah, you're better than that, man. But yeah, it's like Well, so she even if she dates outside, if she goes to where she could get a 6 figure man,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, she goes to New York, L.A., or even like somewhere where making 6 figures is way more common.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then it's still like, what is she bringing to the table? Because at that point, she's her biggest value for herself, because she rated herself a 5 without makeup, was that I'm a successful businesswoman. That's really what she came
Mm-hmm.
from. It really is. That was her main sticking point.
Mm-hmm.
But if she goes there, then she just average.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you really ain't got nothing. Like, what are you really standing on now?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
What,
it's
what,
it's a
mm-hmm.
complicated thing. What
We're
they say?
running a little low
Well,
on time, but
yeah.
Dom
When
said,
we when
Go
we
ahead, go ahead.
adopt concepts or definitions of being average that our society and culture define it to be, we limit our creativity and slow the momentum of being our best from our own excellence. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And then Yaku said that's true. If you say bad things about yourself, you start. Yeah, that's 100%
Yeah, you
true.
start believing it. Yeah,
No,
so
I mean, but
even though okay, he said, I'm just kidding. Don't even joke about that because people don't, you might think you're just kidding. People,
yeah,
for the
truth
viewers
and
that saw it,
truth and
they're
jest.
not gonna, yeah, like they're
It's a
still
lot
gonna
of
take
truth and
some
jest.
proof to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
just
get out of your head.
yeah,
Get that out of
just
your
watch
head,
how you
man.
talk to yourself, man. You gotta be
Mm-hmm.
aware of that.
Yeah.
And then too, but like JR said, he's right. But this is the
Mm-hmm.
thing. Unfortunately, um, in our society today,
Mm-hmm.
money for men especially is the defining. Money is our currency.
Mm-hmm.
For women, it tends to be beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Beauty is their currency.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if and there's, like I said, there's a lot more to it. That's not everybody, but in
That's not,
general,
yeah.
that's what it is, man. That is
But
what it is.
that's not to say that. Hold up, let me gather my thought again. Go ahead. I just
No,
blanked
I was
out.
just
Yeah.
saying, like, I think she just, it's a rude awakening, and I'm not happy this woman was embarrassed, and that video went viral and all this other
Mm-hmm.
shit. But he didn't say anything that was necessarily untrue.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't.
Yeah.
And even if, yeah, money or status, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Money or status. And usually status
Mm-hmm.
equals money,
Yeah.
I mean, and plus that's another thing that, like, we don't talk about, but it's the truth is, like, if she gets that higher 10% man, like if he gets with her outside and it goes from like, I'm having a serious relationship, with this person, she is bringing like not only a kid to it, but like a 13-year-old boy. That's a whole nother dynamic, because it's not even like he's a little kid anymore. At 13, you kind of know what's going on. It's another dude. There's a lot of potential conflict in that interaction alone. So there are a lot of dudes.
And most men would not want that. Most men.
They're going to look at it like, why would I sign up for this headache? And I'm not saying it is a headache. And I'm not saying that women don't get, I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying it's like dudes on a certain level, it's like, why would he? That's how if I'll be honest with you, if I'm a millionaire, or if I'm making like, whatever, the top 10%, and this woman's coming on to me, and she like, has a kid. I don't know him like that, know her like that. And then she has not only a kid, but like a 13-year-old son. That's a whole different dynamic. And there is going to be a part of me that's like,
do you want to be involved with that?
Yeah, because that's a whole different level of responsibility. A whole different level of responsibility.
And I spoke about this before too, where it's like, it's something that you got to really sit down and think about it. Do you want to be involved in that? Is she putting it all on you? It's a burden when she puts everything on you, where it's your responsibility now too as well.
Yeah. And then, but then once again, that comes with different intricacies like discipline. How is this dude? If they get together and this is this man's household, if he's one of the 10 higher up of 10% dudes, he's gonna. I assuming guys like that usually gonna have a certain mentality. And will he be able to run his household the way he wants to? There is a difference when it becomes like, if it's your kid discipline, when you're like a step parent discipline. And like I said, especially with a 13-year-old dude, like son, but dudes, that's a whole nother dynamic that a lot of women don't really understand. And I'm not saying it could be bad. I know there's many relationships where
Mm-hmm.
it works out, but it's another layer. It's another dimension.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something that, the reason I bring that up is Kevin Samuels kept bringing that up. That's
Mm-hmm.
not something she really addressed.
Mm-hmm.
She just kind of glossed over that,
Mm-hmm.
like it wasn't a big deal. Like it's like, oh, I got a puppy. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like, no, this is more than a puppy. This is like a
Mm-hmm.
serious
Mm-hmm.
understanding. So you need to understand, like when you're searching for a certain type of dude, you're bringing all
Yeah.
this into this relationship. Like,
Mm-hmm.
is a dude really? Are you so wonderful that he's really going to sign up for that?
Mm-hmm. I like that. Are you so wonderful?
You know.
Yeah.
And the truth
Mm-hmm.
is,
Not a
I
lot of
don't.
people know how to react to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when she's putting that cap on it. That's the
Yeah.
thing. It's not saying she doesn't deserve love or none of
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. But if she meets a great guy who's
Mm-hmm.
handsome to her, who loves her son,
Mm-hmm.
who's a hard worker and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but he's making 40,000 a year, which is very kind of median in North Carolina, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It might even be a little
Mm-hmm.
bit lower.
Mm-hmm.
Is she gonna be like, well, he's not making six figures, so I can't fuck with him?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was her main, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Her big
Her cap
qualifier.
was like, it was getting thinner and thinner as the list went on, as Kevin Samuel was listing it. And on top of that, her requirement was way too high. It's like there was no,
Yeah, and
the
she's
ceiling
not.
was too high, and
And
she
she
was like, I
wasn't
can't
looking at her
date.
from the other
No.
side, man.
Yeah,
You know.
she was just. It's great that she had that type of vision, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave that question for you guys. Watch that video, that 20 something minute video. We're gonna post it onto Justin's account, his link
Yeah,
tree. So
I'm
click
gonna
on
set
that
up. Yeah,
later.
I'm gonna set up the link tree. I'm gonna set up
Click on that.
I might
Watch
make
that
a whole. Yeah, I might make a whole new YouTube just for this, and then I
Okay.
can like save all those clips on their YouTube, so then people can just go check them
Yeah.
out, something like that. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah. So yeah, go click on his channel so that you can watch that, and then leave a comment below, and so that after you watch that video, come back and leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I know we went on
Yeah,
a
we
little
went
bit more
over. I was
today.
just
A little
rambling.
bit
My
more
fault.
today. So,
My
no,
fault.
you good. I like it. Yeah, I'll get monetized. But
You know it. Get that
yeah,
Audible sponsorship.
the one that we can't mention, Audible.
I threw it out there. Forget it. You know, I done said a lot of stuff today that
Yeah.
if we had more viewers might be considered problematic or whatever. So this is the advantage to having a small show.
Yeah.
I can say what I want to say.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We do these Instagram lives every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. And if you guys find this video content of value, you guys can show your appreciation by donating any amount that you feel is equal to the value of this video. If you guys have any questions, a little bump on the road, send us a DM. We'll answer it shortly. But until next time, we out.
Peace.
Peace. Cardi just said something. I sent Audible this live stream when we started, but never got anything. Thanks for the love.
Thank you, Carter. Thank you, man.
Carter.
That's what you need. People on your team that's trying to help you see your vision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a real one.
He's real.
All right, man.
Thanks for coming back, Carter. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
All right.
For real.
Thank you, guys. All right, cool.
All right, peace.
Peace.